Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're doing some more art rankings because why not? This is the top 10 artwork for Duskmourn, House of Horror. Yeah, pretty straightforward. This is just my personal opinion, of course. I can be wrong, I can be right. So, yeah. And just with that, we'll get into it. Alright, number honorable mention, because, there's too many cool arts in this set. But for I picked the basic land cycle, the full arts. These things are pretty amazing. I mean, each one of them kind of showcases what the color does very well. Also, inside the house as well. I think the swamp is probably my favorite, followed by the called the island. But yeah, the full arts with the full art is insane. Valgavoth in the background over each one, kind of showing his dominion over the house. I mean, the colors look phenomenal. Again, the art is sick, and that's why it's an honorable mention because I didn't want it to be number one because that'd be kind of cheating. So, all right, honorable mention number two because this list wouldn't be complete without me breaking all the rules immediately. I have the Wandering Rescuer, but this is I think it's the double exposure is what it's called, but this is the textured version of it where it's the black and white and red. I don't know why. I think the art looks sick as heck. Pardon my French. But I think the double exposure is cool for the original art. But I think this just the black and the red. I mean, honestly, this could go to literally all of the black and red textured ones because they just look amazing. Like the color contrast is so sick. But this is probably my favorite one, followed by Valgavoth. But yeah, that's why it's an honorable mention because it's not like it's a very hard card to pull. It's a textured foil, only in collector boosters. So that's why it's on the honorable mention list, not actually in the list proper, but I promise we'll get to the list this time. Okay, starting off the list proper this time, we have Irreverent Gremlin. Yeah, I mean, he's a little silly little guy. This is definitely probably one of the nicer artworks from the set compared to the horrors and terrors and nightmares of the set proper. But yeah, I don't know, he just looks funny and he looks adorable and he looks just great. I know gremlins are supposed to be kind of, bad guys, quote unquote, in the story and stuff like that, but he's eating candles. He has a key in front of him. I don't know. I think it's the art's pretty hilarious, and he just vibing. That's it. That's the reason why it's on the list. Okay, next up I put Valgavoth's Lair, and this is the showcase version. I'm pretty sure showcase. It's like the TV extra, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they're calling it, but I think it's a showcase. But yeah, this is the new land, enchantment land. The land's kind of mid. I don't know. I mean, it's good for enchantments, I guess, but it comes in tapped and whatever. But the art is sick. The original art's not terrible, but for some reason, I think this one just invokes the lair aesthetic a little bit more. You have his red eyes in the background, the only color in the screen. The rest of it's black and white around him, around the character. You have left and right towards the center. You have eyes inside the walls. It looks like they have claws underneath the eyes and a bunch of teeth. And, it looks cool. And again, the contrast with the red and the black and the white, I like this art a lot. And that's why it's here. And next up, we have Rite of the Moth. This artwork is not too, crazy, right? It's pretty, I don't want to say simple because I'm sure the work it took to get into it, but there's not a whole lot going on. But at the same time, I think it's the color contrast that really gets it for me. You have the black, the yellows, and the grays, and a little bit of white here and there. But I don't know. I think the art is very evocative. Is that a word? That's a word, right? I think I'm using that correctly. Whatever. I don't know. Again, the art's really cool. You have the moth kind of growing out of the mouth, kind of possessed by Valgavoth. I don't know if this is a lore thing or what, but I don't know. The art's pretty sick, and that's it. And after that, we have Glimmer Burst. The art on this card is I know it's like saying, oh, it's cool, it's awesome, it's sick, but I mean, my vocabulary is limited, right? But this card is pretty cool. I think the detail in the monsters really sells it for me, honestly. Like how they're kind of almost being disintegrated, it looks like, by the glimmer, which I think is a hamster according to the lore. Yeah, or the card text. There's a little little hamster. But yeah, like I think it's like I said, the detail on the monsters being like torn away and kind of shredded away really sold me on this art a lot. And obviously, the contrast, the yellow, the blue, and the blacks and grays are really good. I think it's an issue with the set I have in general, but I hate the survivors' outfits. They're so. I understand they're going for like an '80s theme, but like in the lore, or it's in the either in one of the stories or one of the Planeswalkers guides, it literally says that the survivors' clothes are made out of like pieces of the actual house and like curtains and that kind of crap, and like sofa cushions and that stuff. Why do they all have like clean windbreakers on? I don't know. That's certainly a dissonance I'm not a huge fan of for the set, but other than that, everything's cool. But back to the art, little side tangent there. This art's pretty cool. Uh, that's all I got. It's pretty sick. All right, at number 6 we have Final Vengeance. The card's actually pretty good, I think, in my opinion, for a common. But other than we're not here to rate cards here. But yeah, I think the piece I like, the part about this piece I like the most is honestly the orange and like the reddish orangish pink, whatever you want to call it, and obviously the scene that it's depicting. The nightmare being murdered by the person and vice versa, murdered by the seller spawn. And again, I think the backdrop really sells this card a lot, and obviously the creature's pretty formidable, super like spindly and stuff. I don't know. Again, like the orange and the pink, like the sunset, if you want to call it that, background really sells the card for me a lot. And obviously, the survivor's outfit is dumb, but again, I can't blame the artist. That's the direction that they were given from Wizards. So, but yeah, art's pretty sick either way. All right, next up we have Split Up. This art is very cool because obviously with the title Split Up, and the art depicts 4 different people adventuring to different ways, splitting up kind of a thing. But I think just the art style itself, I don't even know what you would call that. Like, I don't, modernism, blah, blah, blah. I don't know any of that crap. But, yeah, again, just the different styles and different colors on display here, intersected with it looks like breaking of glass, kind of a little bit of an effect. Probably not that, but, it's close. Yeah, I think the bottom or top art is my favorite. I like the little eyes on the top one, but I think the red on the bottom is really good. I mean, they're all 4 of the different art pieces, so to speak, are really cool. It does help that the card's actually pretty good in my opinion. We'll see if that remains to be true or not, but we're here for the art, and the art's sick. All right, up next we have the Roller Crusher Ride, and this is the showcase frame version. I do like the original version pretty good, pretty cool. It's nice, but I think this frame alternate art version is pretty awesome and like kind of disturbingly cool in a fun way. It kind of gives more life to the actual like creatures and the roller coaster itself and that kind of stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, I mean, it kind of gives me a Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but like more demented and perverted, but not in that way. But you know what I meant. But yeah, I think this art is really cool. I think the colors are really good as well, like the pinks and the purples and like clown colors, I guess you want to call them. I don't know. I think the background looks really good, as well as the roller coaster looks awesome. The wood planks are all like deformed and stuff like that. I like how a few of the pieces of it actually go out of the frame too, like where it says enchantment, like part of the roller coaster comes off. Same with like the above the rarity logo up a little bit, like part of the thing is popping off because you broke the rail. That's cool. It's a cool little effect, and I like it a lot. Okay, so for number 3, I kind of cheated a little bit. I have the same card, but I have both of the arts. The card is Demonic Council. I'm going to show the showcase version first, which I think is really cool. I think I prefer the original art, but they're both like just about the same for me. That's why they're both here. But yeah, the showcase version, it shows Valgavoth, and I forget her name, like Marina. Marina signing the contract, and I'll make you a deal, kind of like from the story stuff. You won't see the world crazy anymore. That's why she sees it like all nice and proper, and she's protected from the house when everyone else kind of sees the actual house for itself. But I think the glitch effects are actually pretty cool. I do like the set's like aesthetic. Like, again, other than the Survivor outfits, I think the technology is fine. It's not my favorite, but the green kind of has a good contrast to a lot of the stuff. The glitch ghosts and the spirits to the TVs, I think that's fine. But again, I think just like the clothes from the Survivors is awful. But anyway, side note, because this kind of has a glitch effect. But I mean, obviously, but I mean, he looks sick AF. I'm not gonna lie. In this art, he's got like actual claws. You can see his like skeleton face with like the eyes. Again, if it's not Valgavoth, then screw me, right? But yeah, the art's pretty sick in the showcase frame. And then we also have the original, which I think is also very, very awesome. You have Marina again. You have Valgavoth's two eyes at the very top, kind of like, and also like each of the eyes of the wings, for like the moth wings. Just kind of watching. You have the creepy little hands, kind of like coercing her and kind of like being super creepy and weird about it. I don't know. I think and like the colors are really good too. I know that the colors are kind of muted, not muted, but like they're not very vibrant. But I think that the artist did a very awesome job, even with like the muted colors, like showcasing like the details a lot. Yeah, I think again both of these arts are really cool. I honestly don't know which one I like more. I mean, okay, it's the original, but like barely, right? I think it could really flip depending on what kind of deck it's going in versus like the art that it has. But yeah, that's my number 3 pick, and I know this is a little bit of a long one, but that's because both the arts are sick. All right, at number 2, so this one and the number 1 spot I kind of been flip-flopping on a little bit, but I think I've settled on number 2 being Unwanted Remake. I love the red in this card in the background and like the white contrast from the frame as well as the art itself. Looks really, really good. Now I'm pretty sure, again, I could be wrong on the artist's intention, but it looks like, at least in my opinion, that this person is being devoured by moths. I could be wrong. Or the moths are coming out. But I think that's what it is. That he's being eaten alive by moths, I think. Obviously, you have the beast nightmare, or whatever you want to call it, behind him. And it looks like some of the moths are coming off of the beast to attack him, but I don't know. But I think like the random little spots of green, too, are also really, really good. Like in the eyes of the creature has green, as well as the 2 little dots of the green on the eyes of the thing being eaten by moths is really cool as well. But again, like this art is just phenomenal. That's why it's really high up. It's one of my favorites. Again, and it could be 1 or 2 in any given day. I just think right now for me it's number 2. Number 1, I've cheated again. I have 2 versions of the same card. We have Funeral Room and Awakening Hall. It's one of the new rooms, which is a new mechanic / card type that came out with this set. The original art is pretty awesome. It's also like not like, the thing is like this card, I don't know why I like this card so much. It's not even like crazy, you know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it. Like the scene it's depicting isn't like an insane battle, or it's kind of just like just a room basically, But I think the funeral room side is really, really cool. I like I just don't know. Like I think the colors, like the white and the contrast, and like just the way the light hits the coffin on the right side or the left side of the screen, excuse me. Like the little filigree like window on the far left as well, like the little shadow thing it makes. Again, looks really cool, and obviously the divider, the coffin with the like a Valgavoth kind of design on it, with all the flowers and the stuff on the top and the bottom. And then the Awakening Hall side, the bodies that are covered in white sheets because they're dead, being ready to process. Rising up, and the little red, I don't know what the little red and smoky things are supposed to represent in the story. I might have missed that maybe. Little wisps, but yeah, like in the little guy, like kind of, at least to me, it looks like the guy in the foreground is like kind of shushing. Again, I could be misinterpreting that. But yeah, I just think overall the art is insanely cool for how, like, what the kind of mechanic it is too. And again, I know it fits the mechanic very well, and I know we're here to rank the art, but I don't know, something about this art just really, really speaks to me, and I really, really like it. Although I prefer the borderless version just a little bit more. It has it's a similar scene. It's basically the same thing, right? But I like the glitchiness. I like the overgrown kind of nature of the first funeral room side with like they have the moth. It's like it's not quite a pine box. It looks like it could be a little bit, but you can see like the little handles and stuff. But it's like a lot more of like a grungier, dirtier kind of style to it. Plus, like I like the overgrown part of it with the flowers and stuff like that, and the drapes at the top, and the Valgavoth little moth thingy in the background. I know it's kind of covered up by the text, but it is a bunch of stairs that lead up to the actual top of the picture, which is the funeral room, the coffin. And I think the divider bleeding into the Awakening Hall side with the overgrown skeleton inside the coffin is awesome. And like if you look down below where the text is, like there's a bunch of roots and stuff, and a bunch of more like the flower plants that are kind of running around. And then in the Awakening Hall side, again, it's very similar, but I like the. I don't know why I just like this art so much. It really is really cool. I actually really like the glitch effect on some of these cards. I know, like I said a little bit earlier in the video, but I think the aesthetic minus the clothes for the survivors is phenomenal. And I think the glitch effect does really, really good things to this art. I know it's kind of a basic thing to say, but it looks really cool. And obviously now the same figure is lifted up. And a little below him we have like a more beat up coffin kind of a style. I don't know. This card's awesome. It's number 1 in my book for the best art in the set. Yeah. Well, and there you have it, my totally correct and unbiased opinion on all the artwork at Duskmourn. Honestly, this list could have been top 30, top 40. I think almost every card in this set looks phenomenal. Okay, every card looks great. I can't be mean to the artist, but like, there is so much art in this set that is so awesome and so like, again, I know awesome, I use that all the time, but it's just awesome. The art's sick as hell. This entire set art design style is just crazy cool. Like, yeah, again, I could talk about this for hours, but no one wants to watch an hour video of me ranking every single piece of art. That's why I did top 12, 15, if you want to call it that, if you count the other lands and the honorable mentions and stuff. But yeah, thanks for checking the video out. Let me know your favorite art from the set. I know there's a few that I missed. Yeah, another honorable mention would probably be the Mind Skinner as well. That one, that was like kind of teetering on the list as well. Just a very, very cool card as well. I'll pop it on the screen for a few seconds. But yeah, thanks for checking out the video, and I'll catch you guys next time.